Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to all the food warriors who are here. Look, and thanks to Food Tank and thanks to George Washington University for arranging this wonderful and important conference. It's a good news, bad news world out there with regard to food. Since 1960, population has increased 2.5 times, but food production has increased more than 3 times. So on average, there's more food available, there's better nutrition available. Congratulations to the farmers, to the scientists, to all those who made it possible. But the cost has been extremely high. Agriculture now accounts for more than 1/4 of all greenhouse gases. Every single minute, we're losing about 30 soccer field equivalents of tropical forests. We are wasting 1/3 of all the food we produce. And we are in a seriously bad situation with regard to water and other basic elements. The task moving forward is vast. By 2050, we need to increase food consumption by 60%. And we need to reduce greenhouse gases from agriculture by more than 60%. And by the way, we have to use a lot less water because water is becoming much less predictable due to climate change. And no longer will we be willing to encroach into the world's forests because they are too valuable to us. So this is one of the most difficult questions that humanity needs to face. And that's why this meeting today is so important. And it will be the next generation that actually is the solution to this. Now, there's some hope out there, quite frankly. I mean, for example, we at the World Resources Institute have measured the 2 billion hectares, that's twice the size of China, that used to be forests and now are basically nothing. We should be using that for agriculture. But instead, we are degrading our lands more and more every year. The good news is that under the Sustainable Development Goals, we said, look, why don't we restore 350 million hectares of those? And already, 200 million have been committed by governments. In Africa, we run a program with the Africa Union called Africa 100, 100 million hectares to be restored in Africa. And go to a country like Niger, which is actually a very poor country, and they're doing something which is absolutely amazing. They are taking carbon, which is up there in the sky, which is bringing, quite frankly, ill health and death and hurricanes. They're bringing the carbon down to earth in the form of soils and crops and trees and bushes, and they're getting better yields, the farmers are doing better, and they're having more resilient crops. This is a wonderful example of what can be done. Consider food loss and waste. 1/3 of all food loss and waste is, 1/3 of all food is lost or wasted. If food loss and waste were a country, it would be the 3rd biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world, just after the United States. There's a Sustainable Development Goal called 12.3. We established something called Champions 12.3. And some of the leading advocates of food in the world are part of this. Some of the leading CEOs and some of the leading ministers in the world are part of this. And the idea is, let's see if we can create a political momentum to reduce food loss and waste by half by 2030. And just in the last 2 years, we've established, together with many others, a protocol of how you measure food loss and waste. We didn't have that before. The Consumer Goods Forum has now established a rule that says not only will we reduce by half, but in addition to that, we are going to change food labeling. And this year we hope to get it on the G20. These are signs of hope that are really important. But look, at the end of the day, we need farmers to be part of the solution. We need scientists to be part of the solution. But we also need consumers to be part of the solution. We need to ask ourselves what our role really is. The United States consumes 10 billion burgers every year. Do you know if we just took those burgers and 1/3 of them we made in the form of vegetables rather than beef, That would be equivalent of taking 2 million cars off the road. It would also save agricultural space the size of Maryland. So there are incredible signs of hope out there, but this is a difficult, a wicked problem we're facing. The World Resources Institute is privileged to co-sponsor this. We think this is a very important meeting we're having today. We believe that we need big conversations on big issues. That's what this is all about. I commend you all for being here, and let's get down to work. Thank you very much.